your daughter was a symbol of the generation. And how, without her knowing, fast asleep, there are anxieties, stress, depression, worry, the cares of the world coming and taking the gifts that were placed in her room strategically by God. About Gen Z, what I love about them, but they are extremely talented.
1000%.
They have so many gifts, like they're so creative, they're so entrepreneurial. Like they want it. And there was a dream or a vision of sorts that God gave me one day that blew my mind. So in the dream, like I saw myself. So you know how a lot of times in dreams, like you see yourself moving. So what happened in the first part of the dream, I saw my daughter laying down in her crib. And there was I don't know what type of figure, it was some sort of like manly figure. They came in, they took like a bag. In the dream I knew it was like money of some sort of gold. And would walk away. And my wife and I were sleeping, we would get up, we're like, what happened to, my daughter's name is Anais, what happened to Anais's money? So this happened, I think, a Saturday night. Woke up, that was weird. Sunday night, I had the exact same dream. And we said, why does this person keep coming here stealing her money? And the whole time when I'm looking, I saw the person take it, but I couldn't do anything. Because I'm seeing like a movie. And the whole time they're taking it, my daughter was peacefully asleep and smiling. And like the next 3 days, that was really messing with me. And I talked to one of my mentors, and she said maybe that was an invitation and a warning. And your daughter was a symbol of this generation. And how, without her knowing, fast asleep, there are anxieties, stress, depression, worry, the cares of the world coming and taking the gifts that were placed in her room strategically by God. And we need watchmen over the gifts so they're not taking it. We need people to stand up and rise up so the gifts are not taken. She's 2, she doesn't even know what the gifts are. She doesn't know what her gifts are. She doesn't know the purpose of the gift. She doesn't even know it's there, probably. And she's fast asleep. Smile on her face and everything. But we need watchmen for this generation.
Being a watchman is not a barking dog. It's not just problem. It's being in the room. That's your daughter. You care about your daughter. You're aware of your daughter. You saw the smile on her face. You made sure she was in there and able to have a comfortable place to sleep. The generations prior to Gen Z have prepared, in some ways, a comfy bed, right? We have prepared a place that is easier than what it used to be. Well, that same bed that we prepared to make things easier might be the place where they get so comfortable, where they lose sight, or they never gain sight of what they have in their room. I'm in a comfortable spot. Well, who's going to do it? The watchman is going to be able to be in the room to see if there's a thief, to teach them and raise them up to say, hey, you got gifts in this room. I want you to know what you have in this room. I didn't just build something comfortable for you to die in comfort or be broke in comfort or to be lacking your gifts in comfort. No. That's just, you just rest in this, but use your energy to see what you got in your room. Our position is to repel Gen Z. They're too young, they're too dumb, they're too fast, they're too slow, they're too lazy, they're too weak. Well, it might be too late for them if you keep doing that. You have to be the watchman to say, you're so gifted, you're so smart, You got such a great future ahead of you. You know what? Your ancestors lived and died for you to be here today. And I know that you will be a great ancestor for who's coming after you. You can do great things.
I'm going to tell you a bad example of when I was not a Watchman. Mm-hmm. So I had a student last year. She was a senior, super, super smart. And she would come in from time to time. And I thought we had a pretty decent relationship. Yeah. You know, someone we weren't she wasn't in here every day. We weren't talking every day. Yeah. And when she came in here, we had a decent conversation. Yeah. And one time I think I might have been tired, or honestly, just to be honest, I might not have been as interested in what she was talking about. Yeah. At that time, and so I yawned. And she said, "Mr. Gaines, how come every time I come in here you yawn?" First, I was offended. I was like, why? How in the world are you going to say, I yawned? That was the first time I yawned. Yeah. But if I want a relationship, I have to think, is there validity to what she said? From that point on, first of all, there was no more yawning. There was sometimes it came up, I had to...
Yeah, I had to hold it in.
I had to hold it in. Yeah. And over time, we got to a place where we had those deeper conversations. Yeah. Where we built relationship. But it took that initial... Her. Yes. Yeah. It took her, even though I was older, being able to correct me. If I wanted the relationship, I had to be open to it. If I wanted the relationship, yep. I had to be open to it.
Humility.
That's a conversation that we don't want to talk about.
Marriage, church, work. If we can't have humility, then we can't have the best of whatever it is. You want your marriage good? It's going to take humility. You don't want to have humility, you're not going to have the best marriage. Want the best out of your peer-to-peer relationships? It's going to take humility. If we don't give it humility, then we're not going to have the best peer-to-peer relationships, parent relationships, financial decisions. Look, it goes into everything if we're not humble. I changed. Haven't done that since. At least I've tried not to do that since. I don't think that I have. But check it out. She said something because she cared. If she didn't care, she would have just left. If she didn't care, she could have done different things. But she actually wanted a relationship. So I challenge us, from millennials to Generation X to baby boomers, when someone tries to correct us, ask yourself why they're correcting you. Do they care enough to correct you? They actually want a relationship with you? They actually value you enough to say, I don't like that. Why? Because they want to continue a relationship with you. They actually want to continue. If I don't want anything to do with you, I just leave it. I move on. But no, I want something from you, so I'm willing to say, hey, I don't like that you yawned. Right. Because I actually want there to be something there. Right. I don't like that you reject me. You call me weak. Yes. I don't like, Mom, Dad, that you don't do X, Y, and Z. Why? What's the premise? The premise is I would like for you to do that because I like to be around you. Right. You know, I would like this relationship to continue well. That's the crux of all husbands and wives. Right. Why am I saying this is a problem for me? Because I love you. I actually want to be here and be comfortable with you. You know.
The worst thing that we can do is to put somebody in a position where they shut down. Because if the yawning continues, or if you double down on your stance.
Oh, the double down.
If you double down on your stance, then all you're doing is suppressing. And that eventually, I've learned this personally. Yeah. If you suppress long enough, it will be released in some form or fashion. And a lot of times, if it's suppressed negatively, it's going to come out in a negative manner. Whether it's through actions of other people that we don't want, or to people that we don't want. Yeah. Or it's going to come out on you and it's going to be a lash out.
And we have to be more confident in who we are. That when somebody brings a mistake to us, we don't feel like our world is crumbling down. Yes. Lecrae said it like this: if you live for their acceptance, you'll die from their rejection. I'm saved. Yes. And so since I'm saved, I thank God. Yes. I know who my family is. I'm a part of the kingdom. I'm a child of God. But also, I was saved,
Yes.
which meant I had some problems.
Yes.
I still got some problems, and now I got to work through those, and I get to work through them with the Lord with me.
Yes.
So when they bring me some correction,
Yes.
we should be able to receive that to grow.
And the writer of Corinthians talks about that.
Come on.
So he talks about, so a lot of times when we hear conviction and sorrow, those seem like some strong words, like conviction.
Yeah.
But really what he says is, in 2 Corinthians 7, he says that godly sorrow leads to repentance that brings about salvation.
Yeah.
God, and worldly sorrow leads to death. So if I'm coming to, it's two different types of sorrow and conviction. So if we're talking about sorrow in the sense of I'm coming to you, I don't want to, our intention is not to bring sorrow to anybody.
Yeah.
But if it brings about repentance, which is really just a turning, a changing and going a different direction, if that brings about salvation, or if we're talking about from a natural perspective life, if this will bring more growth or depth,
then bring it on.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Now, if it was conviction, if it's worldly sorrow, and because we've been butting heads for 5, 6, 7 years, and something unfortunate happens, and now I'm sorrowful because I did not reconcile. That's different
It's a different type of pain.
Than coming from, okay, I'm hurt, I'm a little offended by you bringing this to me, but we're together.
And worldly sorrow has no hope attached to it.
Right.
That's the condemnation, not the conviction.
Right.
There's nowhere to go from here. I don't have no hope after you tell me this.
Death is finality.
Rather than death is just the pathway to take you to the next spot. And something's got to die for something to live. My bad habit got to die for my marriage to live.
Yes.
My bad habit got to die for my finances to live. My bad habit got to die for my relationships to live. My bad habit got to die for me to graduate.
Yes.
Something's got to die first. Yes. But we got to see hope in that.
And it's either going to be our pride dying, or it's going to be a relationship dying. Thanks for watching the conversation on the Generations YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe and watch for more great content.